Everyone, you're watching D Esperanza 243. This is Long Live Menavia Part 25. Pretty exciting. I do want to talk about a few things before I get to the book. This particular part, I am reading 3 pages. Part 26 will be 2, so it's going to be a shorter video. Anyways, last week I got some new pants. Pretty exciting. The particular size I needed, the store didn't have, so I asked. The woman was so nice. She actually told me that she would get them ordered and shipped to the store. That way I can just pick them up. And this was at the mall, so I can. I actually just received a call today saying they got my pants, so I can just go over there before my shift tomorrow, so I can and get them. Pretty cool. I was, for a month, I was in an exercise class. I don't really think you've noticed at all, considering I just sit down in my sessions. It's pretty cool though, because last Wednesday was our last class for the month, and so the instructors told us to meet at the Arc, or that we would go to the Arc, I should say. So I stayed after my shift instead of taking the bus to my apartment, and because I had brought my swim stuff with me, so I actually took the city bus instead of the actual bus that takes me home to the Arc, which is Activities Recreation Center. It's pretty much a place where you can go to exercise. They have all kinds of machines. There's like a track that goes around the entire machinery system that they have. You can lift weights. You can do stretches or whatever, yoga if you want. There's even a pool that has all kinds of, areas. There's like a kids area in the pool, but the deepest part in the pool though is like only 4 feet, which to me is not very deep. Anyways, it was a full day, and after class, or towards the end of class, everyone ended up getting new water bottles. Very cool. And so I'm hoping the new water bottle I have will replace my old one, but I have to make sure it fits in that one spot on my bike. Of course, at the moment I can't ride my bike because the seat fell off. Grrr. Yeah, my bike is broken. Disappointing, isn't it? Isn't it? Alright, I guess I should go ahead and get to explaining what happened in part 4, or part 24. Part 24. Considering it's been a while since I've done a video. So in part 24, wow, how many pages did I read? In part 24, Caprice discovered who her brother is, and she's already met him, and she and Senor Pujadas are trying to tell her brother, Nicolau, Nicoulau, Nicolau, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not, they're trying to convince him that he is her brother and the son of Princess Mariona and Prince Frederic. And because of that, they kind of scared him away. So Caprice goes to his house 2 weeks later. So she tries to talk to his mom. She tries to talk to his mom, yeah. And that's actually where we are. You must be really close to Nicolau, correct? The woman nodded worriedly. I cannot keep this a secret from you then. He knows he was adopted. Nicolau's mother widened her eyes. He has known this for almost 2 weeks. I fear he is hiding from me, from Senor Pujadas. Does he know who his parents are? Caprice widened her eyes. Do you know who they are? She asked worriedly. No, I do not. She shook her head. I cannot tell you then. I have learned they live close by here. The woman became serious. Why do you think he is hiding from you? I am going to regret this, Caprice thought, as she bit her lower lip. I know the connections between Nicolau and his birth family. I know when he was born, she whispered. If he doesn't get out soon, Nicolau shall miss what a wonderful country Menavia is, what he could do to keep it that way. You make it sound like he's connected to the royal family, his mother whispered with shock. Caprice gasped and ran off. Wait! Mother, who are you speaking with out there? Nicolau cried as he walked down a set of stairs. She turned toward her son. I had the oddest conversation with someone. Who was it? He was now a few feet away from her. She said her name was Caprice. He gasped. She acted as if she knew you, Nicolau. How is that possible? What does she tell you? He asked with concern. She gave him a look. We need to talk, young man. I'm going to stop there just for a moment because it has that little time-space indicator. Oh, I forgot. While I was at the Ark, I did get to swim before the exercise class started. I actually stayed there. I actually got to the Ark like around 3:10, and I stayed there until, my exercise class had to leave. But to pass the time, I brought a book with me that I had bought at the mall. It's so cool because the book I bought is called Holes. So exciting. I've watched the movie. I remember reading certain scenes from the book, and I've also seen the movie with both commentaries, and it's really good. The movie's good. The movie's great. The book is great. There are certain scenes in the movie I wish there were more details, basically because of what happened in the book. But that's fine, I guess. Louis C.K. did a great job writing the screenplay for the movie, so. And Louis, the guy who wrote the book, is Louis C.K. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I don't know. Sacker, I don't know. But anyways, he has a cameo in the movie. It's the part where Sam is talking about his onions that cures just about anything. There's this couple that comes up to him, and he looks at this couple and tells the man to take off his hat. And he has this like huge balding spot. That's him. The guy with the balding spot. That's Louis C.K. or Secker, whatever. Mr. Lewis, if I'm saying your last name wrong, I am sorry. I mean, I know I've listened to the commentary that you're in, but Seriously, I don't know how you pronounce your last name. I should listen to it again, but I don't have the DVD anymore. I had to return it to Netflix. Anyways, let's get back to the book. I am not going back, he yelled. All this time he kept that secret from me. You kept my adoption a secret from me. How could you? Nicolau, please, calm down. What is going on in here? His father cried as he entered the front door. Nicolau and his mother looked in his direction. Father, reason with her, please. I do not want to see Bruno, not ever. The man looked at his son. I thought Bruno was our friend. What happened? He and a young lady told him he was adopted. He gasped. They did not tell me I was adopted. They told me when I was born. What was going on when I was born? Who my real parents are. Who are they? His father asked. I don't care. His father widened his eyes. They gave me away because of bad luck, because they were afraid if anyone knew, they would be dead. His parents stared at him in fear. They're hiding out from Menavia because of me and that girl. It was quiet for a long time. Oh, I never figured that part out. Nicolau's father shook his head out of shock. His mother sighed shakily, almost out of fear. Then he became confused. What girl are you talking about? He asked. Nicolau sighed. A couple of weeks ago, I helped this lady stop a thief. It turns out she knows Bruno as well. I guess she thought he would help her with something. I don't know. He shook his head. Only the next thing I know, she and Bruno were trying to make me believe that I was born into a different family. Sweetheart, why are you not telling us who your parents are? He looked at her. She was giving him a concerned look. A look he knew all too well. Do you remember that couple we often bumped into when we have our picnics? Yes, I remember, his parents replied at the same time. That's them. They became shocked. It was quiet for a few minutes. How do you know for sure? Wait, why would it be them? They're not hiding anything, his father said at the same time as his mother. They looked at each other and then at their son. Nicolau became tense. It was obvious. She walked up to him. Honey, how do you know for sure? It became quiet. Nicolau, what are you not telling us? She became worried. He hesitated. I don't know how you will react. I'm afraid to tell you. He whispered. She gave him a searching look. That was when she remembered what Caprice said. I remember something that girl told me. She said if you do not get out soon, you shall miss what a wonderful country Menavia is. What you could do to keep it that way. Nicolau looked away as his body shivered. What does she mean? I cannot believe this. He looked at his parents. Princess Mariona and Prince Frederic are my parents. Their eyes grew big. It was quiet, but for a split second. The couple we bump into are the prince and princess? His father said. He paused. No, that could not be, he and his wife said at the same time. Nicolau became frustrated. Nicolau became frustrated. He groaned. "Nicolau, please," his mother began to say. She reached for him, but he stepped back. "Forget it!" The next second, he ran off. When he ran away from his home, he ran to one of his neighbors. He knocked on their door. A kind woman answered. "May I help you, sir?" she asked with a light French accent. And since I'm terrible at French accents, I think I'm just going to stick to my English. Or my American, not English. He grabbed his chest and tried to slow down his breathing. I need to speak to you. And your husband," he said slowly. "Is it a personal problem?" she asked carefully. Nicolau thought about it. "Yes and no. It is also a family problem." She became confused. "It is about you and your husband." Her eyes widened. "Please, it's important." She widened the front door a bit as she stepped aside. He hesitated. "Sweetheart, come here, please," she called out to her husband. A tall man came from behind her. He saw Nicolau and observed him. He drew a surprised yet blank look. "He looks familiar," he whispered. She looked at her husband. "He says he needs to talk to us about a family problem," she whispered to him. The man became confused. "What does he mean by that?" he whispered back. He also had a French accent. "Please," Nicolau started to say. "I need to speak to both of you, in private." They looked at him with a blank look. He sighed. "My parents and I used to bump into you during our picnics. Do you not remember?" "Oh, I remember you now. What is your name, dear?" "My name is Nicolau." He bit his lower lip. I wish my sister was here. I would think she wanted me and her to meet you together." "Come on in, please." Her husband stopped her. "Sweetheart, Oops. Sweetheart, we hardly know him," the man whispered. "Are you sure we should let him in? What if he's trying to hurt us?" She opened her mouth to reply. "Sir, I would not hurt either of you. It is not my nature," Nicolau said strongly. The man looked at him, and then his wife. He sighed. "Come on in, young man," he said quietly. "Perhaps we can help you." Nicolau entered their house. They led him to a small sitting room and sat down in a love chair, fit for two people. He sat down in a regular chair. "What is this family problem you are having?" He sighed and thought for a minute. "I am not one to be blunt," he thought. "I suppose Bruno would want me to tell them slowly, like he tried with me." He sighed again. "I was raised as an only child," he started to explain. "Recently, I discovered I was adopted. I met my sister, my twin sister, unintentionally though." They became confused to what he said. "She and a friend of ours believe that she and I were born in a royal family." The kind woman gasped. "She believes this for a fact." He nodded. slowly agreeing. Are you certain? It is fact that she was born in a royal family. For me, I am not so certain. He paused. Our friend has it in his mind that I really was born in a royal family. I am not certain how he knows this for a fact. I do not understand. You said this family problem involves me and my husband. Her husband became shocked. What does this have to do with us? The kind woman looked confused and serious. Nicolau became stunned at her appearance. He was speechless. Are you well, young man? Nicolau closed his eyes for a few seconds and looked at him. Are you well? Yes, he whispered. He looked at the kind woman. Yes, I am well. What is wrong? My sister. She looks a lot like you. He licked his dry lips. I was right. The couple looked confused. You are them. They looked at him with fear. Who are you talking about? The man snapped. You are Mariona and Frederic. And that is where I'll stop. Have I ever told you how much I love cliffhangers? Oh, that's funny. Alright, I believe that's where I'm going to stop. I will talk to you guys later. The next part you will see will be Long Live Menavia Part 26. Goodbye.